So it's been a while since I last talked about Black Clover. In fact, I think it's been like, almost 3 months since my Why I Think Black Clover Shouldn't Exist video. And I wanted to make a follow up because I've been getting a lot of comments that I want to talk about and I want to sort of reaffirm my stance on things. And one thing that really bugs me, and I've seen this done a lot, particularly with my Tower of God videos or my Webtoon videos, people seem to think that because I make the videos and then I don't make a bunch of follow-ups to it, I don't keep making those videos, that I've changed my opinion or I've reversed my stances. And that's not at all the case. In fact, most of the time it's the exact opposite of that. And I get a good example is when I was in the whole Tower of God situation where I was like one of the only people calling out Tower of God, and I was getting a ton of shit for it, but I was getting a lot of views on those videos, which I didn't really care about, but people were DMing me saying, "Hey bro, you should milk this. You're getting so many views. This is great." But that's never really been what I cared about. I could probably make way better clickbait videos if I did. Really, what I make videos for is just, I got things that I want to say, and then I say them, and I'm done. But there's some things I want to say in response to comments I've been getting, because I've been getting some wild ones. So I figured let's just make a follow-up talking about comments. And if you didn't see the Why I Think Black Clover Shouldn't Exist video, I'll just summarize it really quickly for you. And that is basically because Black Clover at its absolute best is a completely average anime that is filled with tons of tired character tropes and cliches, and at its worst, it is eye-meltingly, brain-numbingly terrible. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at some comments, with one that I've gotten a lot of this type of comment on several different videos about different things, and this particular one says, "Bruh, episode 119 of Black Clover alone is better than the entire Seven Deadly Sins season 3. Now, this is a way of thinking that I personally hate. It reminds me of, I'm sure if you have boomer parents, you've heard this before, but like, you shouldn't feel sad because someone out there has it worse than you. Why do things need to be compared? And also, why does Black Clover being bad, why is that justified by something being worse?" Well, the short answer is that it isn't justified. There's no reason to bring up other anime. I remember when I was talking about good CG and bad CG, I said that Baki had bad CG, and people were like, "Oh, you think Baki is bad? Well, have you seen Berserk 2016? It's like, yeah, bro. Two things can be bad at the same time. Love you. Mwah. So that's a dumb comment. It's one that I hate, and that line of thinking has permeated itself through many of my comment sections. I don't like it. Don't think like that. Don't think that because someone else has it bad, that somehow you being sad isn't justified, or that someone else is happier than you, that you can't be happy. That's a line of thinking I see often. It permeates my various comment sections, and it really bugs me because it goes back to what I said earlier about like people saying, "Well, you shouldn't be complaining about your situation because people have it worse." That's the exact same thing as saying you shouldn't be happy about your situation because other people have it better. It doesn't matter. What other people have doesn't invalidate you or justify you. Okay, next up we have a comment a little bit longer that says, "Your opinion sucks because of these facts." So right away, I'm intrigued because we all know my opinions are God tier and unable to be wrong. So let's read this. Number 1, Black Clover has some great character development inside it. Not to mention that Noelle is one of the only anime girls to have a proper character. That is quite a line. Great character development. So admittedly, I've only seen up to episode about 120 of Black Clover, so there definitely could be character development after that, but I would categorize Black Clover as an anime that basically no one ever develops. Asta stayed the exact same every time I saw him. Pretty much every character did, as if they weren't actually experiencing life. And I'm sorry, saying that Noelle, which if I'm remembering correctly, Noelle is the silver-haired tsundere from the Black Bulls, is one of the only anime girls to have a proper character, you're fucking high, bro. This is something I see regurgitated a lot, like Noelle, 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 Noelle. She's just a goddess. Like, bro, first of all, get your weird, like, presumably underage waifu out of my face, you creeper. But what the fuck? Like, this is probably the same type of person who will turn around and shit on Sakura from Naruto. Noelle is the biggest cliche tsundere around. She is not a good character. Get out of my face. Number 2 on his list. The power system is very reminiscent of Nen, but it changes the philosophy of the characters with their emotional state, which makes perfect sense and makes the power of friendship utterly impossible to implement. This single line is one of the worst things I have ever read in my entire life. First of all, what do you... Black Clover magic is nothing like Nen. Like, Black Clover's magic system is one of the only things I actually give it a little bit of credit for being somewhat cool. It is nothing like Nen. It's in no way is Black Clover's grimoire-based magic reminiscent of Nen. Also saying it changes the philosophy of the characters with their emotional state. That's the dumbest line ever. That's the dumbest line within the dumbest line. And saying that the power of friendship is utterly impossible to implement. First of all, this must be your first shonen, because there's not a shonen that's ever been created where the power of friendship is impossible to implement. On top of that, are you fucking high, bro? I'm pretty sure Asta himself credits most of his strength to the power of friendship. I'm pretty sure he's like, oh, the greatest strength I have is the friends I've made. What? Look at the fight with Veto, dude. Yeah, dude, Asta definitely didn't do good because of friendship power. Absolutely dumb. And then 3 is, the fights in Black Clover always made realistic. You won't see one guy just destroying ton of enemies and the main guy all by himself. Instead, they fight as a team against the other team. Not to mention the heavy symbolism of the elves representing purity being bashed on with a devil. That was dumb. That one, the last sentence in that was dumb. But no, first of all, realistic, bro. These are guys flying around with magic. Second of all, you will see one guy destroying a ton of enemies. I can literally think of several different times where one person bodies a bunch of enemies. I forget his name, but in that horrible fight, like the worst fight Black Clover ever made, where it was Asta versus that guy who could absorb magic, he fought like 9 or 10 people by himself. William Vengeance with his weird tree magic takes out a bunch of people. Yuno takes out a bunch of people by himself. This happens all the time, and it's not even a bad thing. This is such a weird thing. Are you trying to like gaslight me into I've seen the show, dude. I know that this isn't true. Absolutely terrible. One of my least favorite comments I've ever gotten, and I hope that I never see it again. I bet this guy loves Black Clover a lot, especially the main character, Asta. You got that right, pal. I'm a big fan. See, it's funny because this isn't a comment on a Black Clover video. This is a comment on a completely unrelated video, and I checked, this is also the only comment this person has ever left on my channel, so genuinely can't tell if troll or serious. Next up, we have a comment that I can already tell you I'm going to hate because it's another line of reasoning that bugs the shit out of me. And the comment is, Black Clover is a very popular anime, so your opinion is pretty much irrelevant. And if you really hate the show, then don't watch it. I agree it is a really popular anime, and I agree that I'm irrelevant. But if I really hate the show, don't watch it. Simple. Well, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Why on earth, if I had the power to call something out and actually give constructive criticism, why would I instead just ignore it? What? That would be an incredibly stupid beta cuck move that I would never do. Also, something's popularity is not... There's no correlation between popularity and quality, as we've seen with things like Black Clover and My Hero Academia. In fact, a lot of times, it seems like garbage eaters are the majority of anime fans, so if anything, something being wildly popular, there's like a 50-50 chance it will be trash. Okay, let's go with this one. It's another semi-long one. So, your main problems with Black Clover are... I always call him douche in my head. It's a gouch. And Asta, which isn't even true. I literally said that in my video that, like, most people hate on Asta, but I don't really give a fuck. They aren't my favorite, so I'd say a mostly valid criticism. Most shonen protagonists are kind of bland and samey. Think Natsu. Okay, again, other people being bland does not justify you doing it. It's two wrongs make just two wrongs. There's no... is that not a thing. I'd say you're only wrong about his dream of being Wizard King. While getting there is about power/strength, the position itself is mostly a political/paperwork job. That is literally not true. The Wizard King is tasked with protecting the kingdom. I mean, we genuinely see Julius, who's like one of the only cool characters in the entire show. We see him have to protect the entire kingdom at once. Asta, in fact, I bring that up in the video and I say, what the hell would Asta have done in this situation? Just smacking these, like, beams of light with a sword that are covering an entire kingdom. Hence why Julius is constantly trying to sneak out. I mean, that's what? Okay, that's just a character quirk that he doesn't like doing work because he's a little gremlin. So Asta wanting to use that immensely powerful office to make a fairer and more just world, as he told Sister Lily, is admirable. Naive, but admirable. No, it's not admirable. Like I said, it's selfish. Asta is a selfish character, and him being Wizard King would be bad for everyone. First of all, He doesn't have the power to protect people. Like I said, if a gigantic, humongous magic attack was coming from the sky, Asta would look at it and be like, oh fuck, I don't have a big enough sword for this. I literally say in the video, and I'm almost positive that I have brought this up in multiple videos actually, that what should happen and what would make Asta an admirable character in my eyes is him realizing that he's not fit for the position of Wizard King, and that his best friend and rival Yuno is, and that Asta should be his right-hand man. I've said that before, I think multiple times. As for him getting anti-magic, he was chosen as a vessel by the devil in the book because, of course, it wanted to manifest in this world, but it waited centuries just for someone with no magic to come along. If you watch until 120, you see this. Yeah, no, I know this. That has nothing to do... I mean, again, he didn't earn this power. This person is referring to the fact that I said Asta didn't earn his power, and most people often claim Asta worked hard for his power, but he doesn't. This just confirms exactly what I was saying. This is kind of a funny thing that often happens in comments, is like, you just justified my criticism while trying to, like, own me. I, without even realizing it, pulled out the Uno no you card and reflected it right back at you, because you just said he was chosen as a vessel because he was born without magic. Nothing about that was his control. If anything, his mom's ovaries and his dad's sperm cells did the work. But again, I've said it a million times, this is something that happened. I mean, usually it's pretty, like, that's a pretty common thing in shonen, is like, the characters didn't earn their quirk. Naruto didn't earn, their power. Naruto didn't earn it. They put, he was a little baby. Ichigo didn't earn it. It was just how he was born. There's no problem with Asta not earning his magic, but it's the fact that everyone constantly says that he worked hard for his power, when his power was just given to him by random chance. So, for this one, let's start it out. I respect your opinion on the anime, and to each their own. However, based on listening to you talk about Black Clover, and as a fan of the series, it's kind of obvious that you either have not been paying attention to the series, or as you stated, are not current with it. Yeah, no, I said that. I have said that consistently, that I've only seen Black Clover up until around episode 120. Now to address some of your points. Yes, there's a lot of magic-based animes, but how Black Clover displays the mage's power is different. Also, how the characters use the power is different, such as Mana Skin, Mana Zone, Arrays, and a combination of those. Pretty consistently, the only thing I've given Black Clover even a little bit of credit for is its power system. That being said, it's not original. It's an amalgamation of other things. That's fine. That's why I've said that, hey, the power system is the best part of Black Clover. Also, each kingdom uses magic way differently, like the Diamond Kingdom that combines magic with science and experiments on human bodies. The coolest kingdom, by the way. Heart Kingdom with nature mana, and Spade Kingdom with devil magic. One of the things I brought up in the video is that they took a very long time to actually introduce and dive into other kingdoms, so get out of my face. You stated that enough on other kingdoms wasn't established, but they are attacking Clover. That's not new. Even Naruto had the Sand Village and Sound Village attack the Leaf Village, and we knew absolutely nothing about them at the time. Yeah, no, I understand, but 120 episodes in without knowing anything about the people that are attacking is a little wild. And also, what does that have to do with anything? Again, why do people have to try and justify Black Clover being bad by saying, oh, other anime have done the same thing? The world of Black Clover is vast, and for the starting of the series, it's mainly focused on the Clover Kingdom with the elves. Yeah, no shit. Currently in the manga, I don't give a fuck about the manga. Get out of my face, you stupid bitch. Also, the creator stated that Black Clover will be a long-running anime. What do you mean? Of course it'll be a long-running... What? It's already a long-running anime, you dumb fuck. Sorry, I'm getting angry. My main point when I brought all these things up is that if you have not done any serious world building over 100 episodes in, you've done something wrong. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how long you plan to drag out your series. In fact, if anything, that's all the more reason to get some serious groundwork laid early on so that you have a nice strong base to go off of. The justification that Black Clover is going to go for a really long time is, oh, they'll take care of this shit later on. This will all be explained later on. That doesn't negate the fact that it's bad for them to have gone this long, or having had gone that long without doing any serious world building. Now, as it pertains to the governing system of the Black Clover, I keep saying Black Clover, of the Clover Kingdom, you have a king, you have a king along with other royal families and nobles separate from the Wizard King. Yeah, no, I know that. I said that in the video. Thank you, though. I guess he was probably just leaving this in the comments for other people. The Wizard King is the most powerful mage and is charged of defending the Clover Kingdom and citizens, and even though no one in the kingdom likes the King of Clover because he serves absolutely no purpose but to bark orders and is self-absorbed, even the Wizard King answers to him, and Wizard King Julius is a noble. I've said this in my own video. What, huh? I'm very aware of all this. He is different than other nobles, as he sees the importance of all citizens, whether a peasant or not. There are literally other nobles in the show who have similar mindsets, but hey, go off, king, I guess. Whatever. He changed the Magic Knights where peasant talents can be shown because of another... Yeah, I know. This is all shit I've brought up before. What? Most nobles are born with large mana reserves, which is actually stolen power. Again, I'm aware, and I brought this up. What he's referring to is that I said the nobility is completely inconsistent in Black Clover. They portray them as these very stuck-up, pretentious, horrible people, and yet they also say that, well, they're just different. They're biologically just better. They're born with way more mana, way more power. So the message Black Clover tries to send with nobles is very confused because it's showing us, hey, they're bad people, but they're good for the kingdom. So that was always my point, is that you're trying to get me to dislike the nobles, but you're also showing me that the nobles thinking that they're above other people is completely justified and that they are above other people. That entire paragraph was completely pointless. I don't know why he typed that. Jesus Christ. In terms of animation, yeah, we all have problems with that. That is not at all true. Not every anime has animation problems. In fact, I would say a good majority of them don't. Most anime are animated pretty well, especially ones with decent budgets. The studio won't do it justice and focuses more on Boruto. That has nothing to do with me, and I don't care. As per Asta, the anime makes him worse than how the manga portrays him, so I can't argue with you on that one. Again, I don't really care that much about Asta. People constantly say about how he's like the worst character ever created. I don't think he really is. He's not amazing. He's just a bunch of cliches and tropes in a ball that for a while was just yelling really loud. But I don't think he's the worst character ever made. He's just a selfish little brat. We don't know a lot about Asta yet. Even Yuno's backstory hasn't been fully detailed yet. Again, 120 episodes in, or Jesus Christ, at this point it must be like 1,000,000 episodes in and they still don't know shit about shit. We do know some things about Yuno, though. Well, that's great. After like hundreds of episodes, you know some things. Even other characters who serve as a source of information find it strange that Asta is literally the only person who doesn't possess mana. Yeah, I as an omnipotent viewer even find that strange. So it hasn't been explained as of yet. Again, it's going to be a long-running anime. Yeah, its length doesn't justify its shittiness. Your opinions on the characters I can't fault you on because that's how he wrote them, but the series is not inconsistent with the other points you've made. Well, at least to me anyways. It is inconsistent. You're wrong, I'm right. There's the moral of this video. Apparently everyone who likes Black Clover and leaves comments on my videos is big stupid, and I'm always right. No, that's actually a joke. I'm not serious. Most of the comments I got on my Black Clover video were either people saying like, hey, fuck Black Clover, but a lot of the ones that I did get that were criticisms or trying to refute what I said were actually well worded and brought up some decent points. It's just that there's so many people who, I don't even know why they left these comments. Like, to be completely honest, not to be mean, you wasted my fucking time and yours. Maybe I'll catch up on Black Clover. Honestly, maybe I will catch up on Black Clover and make a new video knowing everything that there is to know. Maybe I'll catch up on the anime and then finish off the manga. Maybe. That's a big maybe. But either way, that's it for this video, and I'm going to see you guys the day after tomorrow with a much more positive video about what I think is the most underrated shonen of all time.